how to overcome and come back from a mistake that you recently made and to not dwell on it. Because a lot of times we'll dwell on certain mistakes that we made and shame ourselves, and it's out of guilt. A lot of times we don't mean to cause any trouble or any harm to individuals, but constantly shaming yourself and dwelling on certain mistakes can hold you back. I don't know if you recently made a mistake recently, whether big or small. I just want to let you know is that we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We are all flawed, and we're all a work in progress. Just as long as you learn your lesson and learn from your mistakes and not to repeat them over and over again, you should do just fine. But constantly dwelling on it and shaming yourself can hold you back. And it's not good for your mental health. It can cause you stress, anxiety, mental health issues, emotional issues. It can put you in a really bad state. It's okay to feel bad about your mistake, but to constantly dwell on it and to shame yourself and to hate yourself and to beat yourself for it, yeah, you made the mistake. Yeah, you did wrong. But you acknowledging that you made the mistake and that you were wrong in the situation is the first step to taking accountability, because when you can own up and take accountability for your mistakes, you are building trust. You're showing other people that they can trust you. Whether professionally or personal, you're showing others that you didn't mean any harm by what you done and that you were going to take steps to not make the same mistake again. It builds character. It shows that you are growing, that you are maturing as an adult. Because let me tell you, people do stuff all the time, and the majority of people in this world cannot take accountability and own up to the mistakes that they made. They believe that they are so flawed. I mean, that they're flawless and that they can do no harm and that everything that they do is right. And a lot of times people will try to justify the bad things that they do and justify their toxic behavior. But if you're the one that can own up to your mistakes and you feel bad about what you did, I just want to say congratulations. You are an amazing person and God would be proud. God knew that we were flawed. God knew that we were going to constantly make mistakes and let people down because none of us are perfect. But to constantly dwell on something that you did, I don't know, maybe you failed to fulfill a commitment that you made to somebody. Maybe you failed to deliver item or product to a customer in your business. Maybe you accidentally stood someone up. You asked somebody on the dates, they got ready for the date, then you never called them or forgot to call them. And you feel bad about wasting that person's time or setting them up. Whether, no matter what the mistake was, whether big or small, as long as you reach out to the person and sincerely apologize and explain to them what happened and you're completely honest, they will appreciate your honesty and you owning up to the mistake that you made. Normally, when you take accountability and own up to your mistakes, people are appreciative of that. They appreciate you being honest and frank with them. And then, like I said before, that's building trust. And so many people are afraid to tell the truth and own up to their mistakes because they're afraid to receive a negative consequence. Yeah, they might get angry and yell at you and cut you off or curse you out or whatever, but at least you told the truth. And if they want to be petty and not forgive you, then just let it go and move on. But just know that as long as you did your part and took accountability for the mistake that you made, you will always be praised for it. Even though the person that you were frank and honest with doesn't forgive you, God's seen what you did, and God will always be proud of you for being honest with the individual and owning up to your mistakes and learning the lesson and learning how not to make the same mistake ever again. I'm making this video because I know there's someone out there that recently made a mistake recently and they're currently dwelling on it, whether if it's something that happened recently or months ago or a few years ago, whenever the timeline is. I don't know. Everybody's timeline and frame is different. Whenever you made the mistake or did wrong, I just want to let you know It's okay. Take a deep breath. It is not the end of the world. Woosah. I just want to let you know that it's okay to make mistakes. However, if you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, that means you're not learning the lesson and you're choosing to do the thing over and over again on purpose. That's when it doesn't become a mistake, it becomes a choice. But as long as you but as long as you feel as long as you feel bad about what you did or how you treated someone and you're willing to own up to it, that's all that matters. Yes, you were late to that certain appointment. Yes, you missed out on a meeting that you made with someone, whether personal or professional. Like I said, reach out to the person, sincerely apologize. As long as you're sincere with your apology and you're honest, they'll likely will forgive you. But if you've constantly play victim and act as if you didn't do anything, you're showing people that they can't trust you and you're not growing. You're in an immature state of playing victim and blaming someone else, which is what the majority of people do. Like I said, it's okay to make mistakes. Just don't make the same mistakes over and over again. Because if you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, you're either not learning the lesson or you're choosing to do it. It becomes a choice at this time. So really think about it. You know, someone breaks the law and they said that it was a mistake. They get sent to jail. Then they get released from jail and they say, wow, I made that one mistake and did this one crime and I was released from jail, so I'm gonna go on ahead and do it again. That's not a mistake, that is a choice. And so you gotta be willing to learn. But to keep dwelling on a certain mistake that you made over and over again and shaming yourself, you're only inflicting self-harm on yourself. And it's not good for your mental health. And it can make you sick in the long run if you keep thinking about it. It can put you in the hospital, so really be careful about that. So this video is to encourage others out there to not dwell on certain mistakes that you made and to not shame yourself or be angry at yourself. Yes, you made the mistake, learn from it and move on. Just learn your lesson from it and try not to repeat it again. And this is also a message to myself because I've recently made a mistake recently. I'm not going to say what it was, but I feel bad about what I did. And this message is to but in the long run, I know dwelling on it is not going to make the situation any better or change what happened. All I can do is learn from my mistake and not to repeat it again. Learn my lesson. Yeah, I made the mistake. I let the person down. But now it's teaching me how to be more aware and more alert and be more responsive the next time I make a commitment to someone. I recently let someone down and I feel bad about it. But all I can do is sincerely apologize to that person, make up for it, and move on. I mean, learn from it and move on. But yeah, one of the reasons why we dwell on certain mistakes that we made is due to guilt and shame. A lot of times we shame ourselves for doing certain individuals wrong, whether it's people that we care about or our professional colleagues. Just remember to be honest and own up to your mistakes. Taking accountability will set you free. A lot of people think that taking accountability will put them in a world of trouble and they'll receive a negative consequences. And in some cases that will happen. But at least you set yourself free from guilt and dwelling on it over and over again and feeling shame. To me, that's way better than feeling guilty and dwelling on certain things over and over again. But yeah, this video is to encourage those out there that none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. But as long as we're willing to learn from our mistakes and not to repeat them over and over again, we'll do just fine. That's why if you make a mistake, go to God. Tell him what you did, ask for forgiveness, and he will forgive you. It's that simple. Well, I'll catch you guys later. Y'all have a nice day. Stay blessed, not stressed, and happy Halloween. Peace.